Welcome to the Vet Farm Network podcast, where military veterans and their families explore how to build profitable, resilient, and purpose-driven lives in agriculture. I'm your host, Kate, and today we're joined by retired Colonel Joe Ricker, Executive Director of Veterans in Farming and founder of Addie's Orchard. Joe was recently featured on RFD-TV discussing the American Farm Bureau Federation's Farm Safety Week initiative and also represented our community at the West Virginia Small Farm Conference. Today, we're talking about the upcoming Veterans in Farming State Meeting happening March 28th, what it is, who it's for, and why it matters before the busy farming season begins. Joe, welcome to the Vet Farm Network podcast.
Thanks, Kate.
Joe, for listeners who may not know you, can you briefly describe a little bit about your background, both your military service and your journey into agriculture with Addie's Orchard?
Yes, I did about 30 years of military service. The standard wars, Iraq, Afghanistan, and some Pentagon time. And I always joke, and I don't know which one was harder, the Pentagon or overseas. And then I decided when I was getting near the end of my career, last 3 or 4 years, that I wanted to buy a farm and just get away from the hustle and bustle of military life and big industry. So I did DoD Skill Bridge with Agribility. Under the Skill Bridge program, it allows you to intern with a nonprofit or industry partner like Salesforce or Amazon. And so I skill bridged with Agribility. It was a great experience, and from there I just grew these opportunities to help veterans get into farming, and I just love helping veterans get into farming and seeing them prosper and enjoy themselves.
That's wonderful. So, what is this Veterans in Farming State Meeting, and why is it important for Indiana veterans in agriculture to know about it and to be there?
So on March 28th, we have the Veterans in Farming meeting in Indianapolis. That is really important for us because it's an opportunity for the veterans to get together, kind of share some camaraderie. We have a social the night before that we'll have a few drinks and hors d'oeuvres and talk about the good old times. Always great to hear those veteran war stories, whether it's the Marine, Navy, or the like. So that's on Friday night, and then all day Saturday, we have speakers and extension educators and professionals talking about just a plethora of things that will help veterans in agriculture. So we have the Indiana State Department of Agriculture Director Lamb is going to give us some opening comments. We have from the Purdue Agribility Project, Dr. Bill Field, and he's going to talk about agribility and the opportunities that are out there for assisted technology and helping veterans with injuries to compensate for them and get into farming. We have John Klar, who's from the Northeast area. He's a big Make America Healthy Again proponent and freedom food stuff. He's an author, a lawyer, a farmer. His daughter's in the military. I mean, he's just an overall great guy that does a ton of stuff, to make sure that people eat well and eat healthy. We have Purdue Extension educators that are going to be giving classes on flower farming. We have some local um, apiarists that's going to talk about beekeeping. It's just a well packed event. We try to pack everything in, probably start out with too much in our heads. And then we, put that out in three compartmentalized groups so people can select their lane of what they want to learn about. And we usually do that about once or twice a year. This one's a big one in Indy. We have the Sheridan Hotel set aside for us for anybody that needs to spend the night. And we're happy to reimburse anybody that has challenges with funding. It's not about the money, it's about getting people to go there. Hoosier Uplands with Darren Chapman is allowing us to just charge $20 to people. Uh, and that includes the veteran, a caretaker or a spouse, and then any of the family members under the age of 16. So with that cost, what it's going to allow us to do is really keep the cost low. allow veterans to go. And then if they're coming from far away and they need housing, we're more than happy to help with that. It's not about, any organizations making money on the event. It's about really getting that information out to the veterans to help them in their journey. I do know we have a couple other states coming in. I got confirmation that I know we have people from West Virginia coming in, somebody from Pennsylvania, somebody from Tennessee. So it's going to be more than just the state of Indiana. It'll be a pretty good Midwest national event for us.
And you were just at the West Virginia Small Farm Conference, and I mean, for you as a farmer and a veteran, there's a lot of online programming, and Veterans in Farming does some of that with webinars and this podcast and different things like that. But for you, what is that investment of time like? Getting a farm sitter, maybe taking the day off of work to travel to the event. Why is that worth it for a veteran farmer, either a beginning farmer or somebody who already is established? What kind of things do you get out of that by, getting in your car and driving all the way to West Virginia and spending the weekend with people? What do you take away from that makes it worth it?
Yes, that's a great question. So, like my trips to West Virginia or my upcoming trip to the National Training Workshop in Michigan, first and foremost to me is it's great to be with veterans, and it's great to know that other veterans are succeeding where they're at. And then it's some of it, not only the class presentation and taking away the little technical parts of proper beekeeping or how to use a high tunnel for flowers and the like, but also then learning from other veterans, the grants they got, how did they find out about the business plan, sharing contact information. It's as much the camaraderie that an opportunity as it is the actual content. But the content we think was going to be spectacular on the 28th, and it was spectacular in West Virginia as well. They have some great programs out there, and it's always great for me to professionally learn, about what's going on in other states because little tidbits are there I can take away and maybe bring it to Indiana.
For sure. So, besides the Veterans in Farming Facebook, social media pages, how would people register, take that first step? Do they need to be a Veterans in Farming member? Do they need to be a veteran, or is everybody just welcome to attend?
Everybody's welcome to attend. They don't necessarily need to be a veteran. We are in vetsinfarming.com. If you go to the website vetsinfarming.com and go to the events and drop down, you'll see two events you could sign up for. One is a sponsor, and we're always happy to get sponsors and supporters. And the other one is for attendees and speakers. So if you click on the attendees and speakers, you can go in there and register. And as always, I'm open to emails or text or call. My number is 262-388-1261. And my email is ricker2, RICKER2 at purdue.edu. And again, if you can't get through that or it gets complicated, because not everybody has access to computers and some people have security things on and this and that, just give me a text or a call, and I'm happy to either work through it or put you in there. But everybody's welcome, and we'd like to have as big as a crowd as we can. The only particular with veterans is because it's a USDA grant, is the $20 price is for veterans only, and their families. We can't host that price for somebody who's not a veteran because of the way we're getting reimbursement on it.
Sounds good. Well, I just want to thank you for your leadership, both as executive director of Veterans in Farming and working on your own farm and orchard and with beekeeping at Eddie's Orchard, and for sharing more about the March 28th state meeting. If you're listening and considering attending, registration is available and open now on the Veterans in Farming website. And there is a state meeting page, or you can go to the events page. Be sure to reserve your hotel room using the official room block link, and if lodging costs are a concern, limited scholarships are available. This is a full day of practical education, strong speakers, and meaningful connections with fellow veterans in agriculture before our busy farming seasons get underway. To learn more, please visit the Veterans in Farming website. Until next time, this is the Vet Farm Network podcast. Farm on.